Welcome back to the channel, Crypto Trend Trader with a quick update on Bitcoin. Before we get started, I'd like to remind you it's not financial advice. I'm not your financial advisor. These markets are extremely volatile, so please do your own research and trade responsibly. Alright, so obviously we got that big dump. It was not unexpected, but obviously was a little more violent than people were, people were expecting. Especially if you didn't see that coming at all, I'm sure that was probably pretty devastating. Uh, the most important thing though is, I'm hearing everybody talk about why it happened and conspiracy theories and exchanges being closed, this, that, and the other. But we know the real reason it happened. This is the source. I'm going to tell you exactly why it happened. It happened because that was us falling back into this channel. That was a fake out. That was that stab above, like exactly like we talked about. This is our weekly chart. We're on Bitstamp right here. This is the resistance line from the top at 20K down to our top right here at like the 12.5 to 14,000 range, and you'll see the red line come straight through here, and we got that stab above it, confirmed that we broke out, consolidated, retested. That was the fake out for liquidity grab basically, and then we dump back inside this channel now. And you know how likely it is that we're going to break back out of this? It's extremely unlikely. The likelihood of us all of a sudden now gaining back strength and then moving to the upside is like 5%, in my opinion. It's like 5%. It's much, much, much more likely that we're going to come back down and wait for a key level to find support and then move to the upside. And that's going to line up perfectly right now. If we continue to sell off, we could get down here as low as this like 7,700 range right here and get this inverted head and shoulders and finally get the legitimate move and break out to the upside. Because we're going to come down here and we're going to find support at a higher low. That's all we need to do is find support at a higher low than this area right here. So if we're looking at the weekly, we just need to make a higher swing on the weekly than 68.70. That's easy. We could sell off so much. We could sell off all the way down to here, all the way down to here, anywhere above this, and then we get the bounce, we get the move to the upside, and bam, bull market confirmed. This right here, though, is exactly what we expected, a fake out. Okay, because this could still sell off, and we could go back down and put in a lower low. All right, we didn't put in a higher high than this. This is the macro. This is the higher high that we needed to take out. This one right here. This is just a little something something. I mean, that's great to take that out, but that doesn't actually change anything. This right here does not change anything. All it does is it means when we're fibbing from this swing to the bottom down here, when we're fibbing from that, once we take this out, we no longer fib from this. We then fib from up here. We fib from the next swing high. Okay, and then once we take this out, then we switch and we can go back and fib from this, the previous swing high. So that's why this is still an internal retracement. So nothing changed. Now that we fell back inside the channel, all we did is just confirm 100% to the market that this was a fake out. We're back inside of this area and that we're going to continue going back down here, and then we're going to see where we find support at. And again, I think it's very likely that we're going to find it down here at the 618 at that 77.49 range. Okay, and remember, this is our retracement for this whole entire wave up here. We did this last time too, but I'm just going to throw it back up on here. But that's our fib right there, and we came up. With this one, we came up to the 382. And then with this one, when we came up, we came back to the 236. So we actually got higher back up. So, we're right there at a key level. The 0.5 and the 236 both are in line right there. So, I mean, it's a very high likelihood. Like we were saying, when you get a few of these in the same area like that, it's very high likelihood that's going to be a key pivot on the market. So we were saying we were either going to get that big pivot to the upside over here or that big pivot to the downside right here. And again, that pivot is going to line up perfectly with this support line, this long time trending support line that's been holding the market up all through basically this long bull market that we've been in. And then that's supporting us all through here, and it's multiple touches, so we can confirm it's a valid trend line. And then we're going to come back down here, test this, and then we can find our legitimate pivot, our legitimate swing. And what I would expect to happen when we do come down here, I would expect it to either get front ran because people are ambitious and want to get in here as soon as they can before it breaks out, and then a massive push to the upside, or I would expect a big wick down to get bought way back up, put in a higher swing, and then bust to the upside. Or, you know, obviously we could sell off and take out the low, but I think that's less likely to happen at this point in time. But, you know, we got plenty of time to tell. It's not just going to happen in one candle. Of course, I say that, and you know that seemed, I'm sure, like a devastating candle, but the only people that were really affected by this are the ones that were shorting, which, you know, they made profit obviously, and the ones that FOMO'd in at the last minute. Because, you know, if you bought anywhere above that last thrust, you were fine. So, but there we have it. Just a quick update. Crypto trend trader, Bitcoin. You know, it's falling in line just like we were talking about. You know, I would fully expect us to test here, maybe test back up to the upside, get rejected by these key fib levels now that we were unable to hold them as support. You know, possibly even have another liquidity grab stab up to the upside, and then sell back off here over the next few weeks, and essentially test down to like, you know, we have to look at it in steps, but you know, essentially it was like that $8,800 range was our next step down here, and then after that, we can look at legitimate reversals in like the $7,800 range. But again, the most important thing is to just basically, you know, put in a higher swing above that 66, 65, and then we can get strength and then move back to the upside. And then once we put in this higher swing over here in like the 12.5 range on the weekly, or, you know, if you're looking at it on the daily, you know, it's got to be closer up here to like the 12.9 range. But after we take that out, you know, we can confirm that this is no longer our valid pivot and, you know, swing that we're going to be like fibbing off of, and then we can revert to our previous swing high once we take that out. And, you know, assuming that we take out the 786, 886, you know, match a new high, and then boom, blue sky breakout, and we're off to the races, baby. Crypto trend trader, and I'm out of here.